Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Let us put on the armor of light. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Wakaf Dash. Want to send double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you, Akiam, out there pushing the word and sitting in truth. This is Brother Ariala. On this lesson, I wanted to talk about how this life is the side hustle. This life we live is truly the side hustle. You know, we are in a time to where we're seeking for salvation. We're seeking to live immortal life with Yahweh Shai. We're seeking for a new world to come. We're hastening that day. And so there's a lot of conflict with living this life and seeking for a new world to come. You know, the flesh naturally tells us to increase, to grow, to live abundantly, to have this, to have that within this time now. You know, that's what this earth was meant for, you know, to you, for you to enjoy, for you to grow, for you to, kind of, just be within that. But we're called into this ministry to die in this world and to be resurrected into the world to come. You know, that's why the scripture says here in Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. And so you have to keep and maintain a mindset whenever you do go out and about and you're dealing with family situations, or you're dealing with your job situation, or you're dealing with friends in the world, or you're dealing with, wanting to do this or wanting to do that. You can't take it so seriously. When you have a side hustle, you do your best at it, but it's not something that's just all the time immediately at the forefront of your mind. The priority in this thing is the building and the growing within the ministry and the salvation set to come. That's where you really have, put your flag in the sand, as they say. That's really where you're staking your future. Now, when you do have, do you do these things? You might have a wife, you might have this, you might have that. You handle your business. Don't get me wrong, but your heart and your intention behind it, you understand that it's something fleeting. And so the scriptures are constantly warning about maintaining this mentality, because when you are in this truth, it is a revolutionary doctrine. The world is going to come against you. And if you have your hands so sunken down and you're so completely invested in this world, when certain things are ripped away, you could be pulled to look back. And Most High, we know what happened to Lot's wife, right? Here in 1 John 2:15, it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Okay? For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. We have to make sure we maintain this mindset so that when things happen in this world, we're not pulled so emotionally that it distracts and keeps us from the overall mission, or overall mission of the confession of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Because we know that this world passeth away. We know that this world is polluted. Right? This is why Yahweh Shai would continue to admonish the disciples and the apostles, because he knew what they were going into. He knew the struggles and the tribulation and how things were going to be taken away. And so he was trying to keep them in the mindset of keep your eye single, keep your eyes on the prize, so to speak. And we have to come into that same energy and mindset that this life that you live, it's really just a side hustle. It's, don't take this life and the stake in this life too seriously, if that makes sense. Matthew chapter 10 verse 34 says, think not that I've come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So we have to maintain this mindset that the things, even your own children, it could be something that's passing away in this world. The children and the relationships and the riches and the opportunities that you have in the world to come is going to be more and more and more. Yeah, do we want our parents to be saved? Of course. Do we want our children to be saved? Of course. But really, we just want to be saved in general, and that's the mission. You might lose some things on this side. Why? But you have to have a mindset of this life is not what's promised to continue. This world is not what's promised to continue. So you cannot have your heart so set upon the flesh of this world, the things of this world, to where it rips you completely apart if you lose something here. There's a level of detachment that you have to maintain. And the people that you love the most, the people that love you the most, they're not in this ministry. They're not reading what you're reading continually. They are not set for the gospel like that. They might believe in a certain type of way. They might agree, but they're not in it like that. So even these words, they might take offense. You try to explain this to your wife, like, baby, I love you, but I'm not just focused on you like that. She gonna be hurt. She gonna make you feel hurt. You can say that, you know, even the sentiment with your own children. Okay? But the love of this world and the continuance within this world is not what we're seeking after. We're not seeking to extend the apartment that you live in or the relationships that you have. In all reality, or do they feel good, or can they have good properties to it? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's all polluted. You don't truly have the relationships as the Most High intended on this side. You don't truly have substance as it was intended on this side. It's really polluted. And so as we continue we might be growing in a relationship with our wife or with our children. You might be building a business. You might be, you might be collecting this, or it don't matter. You might be making all this music. It's still tainted. It's still polluted. And so you don't have that lifelong immortal investment there. You have to make sure you keep the proper perspective on what is the main priorities. All right, if you have priorities written out, where it's, making sure that you do your videos, you go on the duties and services of the ministry, then down from that, business that you might need to handle, and family and stuff like that. But it's a pecking order, and there's a focus on each thing, and we have to make sure that we always put that in check, because really this life is just a side hustle. So when things happen, it doesn't just destroy you mentally. And don't get me wrong, we all have ties, man. We all have things that affect us. I know I do. People that's close to me, situations, to where if it goes this way or that way, it's like, But you always have to remind yourself, what is really the big deal? What really matters, Here in the book of Hebrews, the 13th chapter, and the 13th verse, it says, "Let us go forth, therefore, unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come." All right? By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to the Most High continually. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. Okay? Because we seek a continuing city to come. We seek a continuing immortal situation to come. That's why the confession of the word is so important, man. Okay? Sirach chapter 19 verse 18 says, "The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality." Okay? That's what we want. That's what we're trying to obtain. But here you don't have the fruit of immortality. You have the fruit of mortality. That's why the scriptures talk about what? Mortifying your members. Okay? Mortifying your members. Okay? That's what we're set to do. Right? Colossians chapter 3, verse 5, it says, "Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, and out of order affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry, for which things' sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. But now Ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye put off the old man with his deeds, and ye have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Okay? And so we're continuing to follow that so that we can eat of that fruit of immortality and be able to abundantly express ourselves. We want to abundantly express ourselves. Brothers want to do it through music, enterprise, and creation. Brothers want to do it through the relationships that they have with women. Brothers want to do it with the relationship that they have with their kids. You want to abundantly express yourself because the Most High put that nature in you to create and build, right? But you want to do it in a polluted place, or do you want to do it in a place that's clean and sanctified? What are you at? What is your intention? What is your priorities? Okay, what are you fighting for? That's why the scriptures talk about being not weary and well doing. Okay, but if you're focused on this world, you'll have that worldly sorrow that Paul talks about in 2 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. All right, sorrow and loss of things on this side. And we can't do that. We have to make sure that we are keeping a proper perspective on what we got going on here. This world, this life, your marriage, everything. It's really just a side hustle. It's really just something that's, it's not of the highest priority. That don't mean you don't take care of it and you don't deal with it. It's just like any side hustle. You maintain it, you got it going. But in the ultimate understanding, you know that this is just a shadow of things to come, and that this is fleeting. Everything here is fleeting. The permanent thing that we want is the kingdom of heaven on earth. That's what we're fighting for, okay? That's what we're looking to come into, okay? Hebrews chapter 11, verse 13. It says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims in the earth. All right? For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is in heavenly, wherefore the Most High is not ashamed to be called their power, and he hath prepared for them a city. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking to come into, that continuing city. All right, New Jerusalem coming out of heaven, right? With us being established in those new bodies, things being cleaned up, us being cleaned up, our minds being cleaned up, coming into that way. All right. But that takes proper perspective, especially as things begin to ramp up here in this world. There's going to be things that are going to be strained. There's going to be things that are going to be cut off. There's going to be things that you're not going to be able to do on this side that you desire, that you like, that comforts you in the flesh here. But this life is just really a side hustle. So, whatever. And it sounds harsh, and it's going to sound harsh to the people who are not within this ministry. But that is the mindset you have to maintain. That is a discipline that you have to hold on to. And we all struggle with it. All right? We all struggle with it. We're people. All right? It's normal to feel that strain. It's a part of the process. But to continue in obedience is what the Most High is looking for. Okay? I'm going to close out on this one. 2nd Ezra chapter 2. Verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And these are the men that had crowns set upon their head by the young man of high stature, talking about Yahushua. In verse 45 it says, And he answered and said unto me, These be they that put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. See? And that's where we want to be found. Okay? That's where we want to be found. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in her hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Okay? And so now, we want to be amongst that multitude, those few elect that have put off this world, that have put off this mortal place, And your heart really is what that is. You put off your heart and your intention and your investment, in this place like that, and you put on the immortal clothing. You put on the intention of continuing in that vibe. Okay, so don't take this life here too seriously. Take seriously like the life that's to come. Take seriously the opportunity for that immortal life. That's what the main priority and focus has got to stay on, man. Okay, so Lord willing, that was edifying. I wanted to touch on that, man. It's something that we always mention in the sermons because, we all have different aspirations and desires and we're doing things, but we have to make sure to maintain proper perspective as young men, okay? And as we mature in this truth, we're pulled in different ways. Okay, what's the proper perspective? All right? Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to y'all came out there pushing the word sincerely and truth. Shalom.